Hi, beautiful people. Thank you for stopping by my channel. My name is Kristen. Today, I have another unpopular opinion. I know it's an unpopular opinion. I'm going to title the video that it's okay that we sometimes do not jive with the same things that everybody else is jiving with. And I just want to affirm anybody who's feeling that about this book in particular, but just in general, it's okay that we don't all love the same thing. And no, I couldn't do a better job. So I am not coming for the author as a bad writer. Talking about the Calamity Club. I will put a picture up here because I did listen to it on audio. I had seen multiple reviews that said, particularly people who had wrestled with it being a long book. I don't personally have a problem with long books. I love a chunker book. I consumed this book by listening to it. Kathryn Stockett is a lovely author. I did enjoy The Help very much. I did enjoy the movie that the book was based on. But if they make this into a movie, I know that I will not be watching it. So let me talk about it without any spoilers, and then I will give you a warning that I'm going to talk about the details of it. So if you have not read it and you have come to see, is this a book that you would like to read, then here's just one opinion, but there are so many out there, and the vast majority of people love this book. However, I did not. I appreciate that had a dual point of view. I really did super enjoy the point of view of Meg, who is an orphan girl that has been left by her mother. So, I mean, she's not an orphan that her mother is alive, but she has been dropped off at an orphanage, at a care home that is not treating her very well. And I really enjoyed hearing her thoughts and struggles and figuring out her life. The story, as we follow the other character, Birdie, I did not really gel with that storyline. I found Birdie to be fine. I did not particularly bond with her, but it was mostly the community, and I appreciate the fact that the author was really doing a very good job of trying to share some historical facts. Like, I appreciate that she was taking time to educate us about the reproductive health and the treatment of women as far as medically and socially and all those kind of things in early 1930s in America. So I did appreciate those details, that storyline, but I did feel like it was very dramatic, that everything was kind of over the top, and when it was cliched, it was very cliched. And sometimes that was funny, and perhaps that was humor, but I had a hard time getting into that. So we're following Birdie, who has had some infertility issues, had some family estrangement issues, very poor. They are about to lose property, lose housing, lose all this stuff. So they are trying to reach out to friends, families, jobs, anything that they can do. And that is the kind of main plot around that storyline, is trying to get money, save the farm, so to speak. And the overall theme of the book, I would say, is how far or what are you willing to do to sacrifice for family and your fortune, your livelihood, those kind of things, including found family, right? Including friends. What are you willing to do? How far are you going to push things? And that's a really great theme. I applaud that. I think that is great. But again, I just found it to be over the top, repetitive. The book felt too long to me, and then at the end felt rushed. So I did not like necessarily the pacing of it. I think I'm about at the point where I need to start saying things that might be a little spoiler-ish. So hopefully that gave you enough feel to know if maybe this is something you want to consider, or look at some other reviews and see if the Calamity Club is something you want to do. So to my friends that are wanting to read it and then come back, I will see you in a little bit. I'm going to spoiler. Bye. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some of the specific actual plots that really frustrated me in the birdie line, let's just talk straight up from the beginning. There's been quite a few people that even do kind of spoiler it a little bit, in my opinion, because it's pretty far into the book where we learn that the way they're going to make the money and save the farm is open a brothel. So I can struggle through that. That's fine. It's adventurous. It is courageous in some regards. However, I did not believe, I could not get on board with this particular version or chain of events. I appreciated some of the tweaks or character stories that we were maybe trying to bring out. But the fact that you have law enforcement, you have a vice club kind of run by a woman that's the obvious villain in the storyline, although she is over the top. I get that she's a scorned woman, but man, I just felt like she needed to be painted green and have a broom. Yeah, because there was some truth to the fact that you might want a town without a brothel. I mean, call me crazy, but I don't know that I want my next door neighbor offering that up, which brings me to another point. HOAs, maybe they didn't exist, I don't know, in the 30s, but surely small town neighborhoods called up each other, called emergency neighborhood meetings. There was none of that. Really? I've been in, I mean, I was getting the feel that this was supposed to be a smaller community town feel, because just, I guess I took that, maybe it wasn't, but I got that from mostly Franny, like petrified what everybody was going to think. Well, obviously they were talking. Why didn't neighbors show up? Why didn't the police show up? Why didn't the vice immediately go after the, I find that very, very hard to believe. And just the close calls and the way it was lined up, and are we going to be found out? And no, we're not. And it just felt so, just so much. It's like, no, it just was not enjoyable. It was just not enjoyable. That's what I have to say about that. And I have said I really did appreciate the Meg story. I was like, oh, good. It's the Meg story. I'm going to get to take a mental break. I'm going to get to enjoy this part, which I did. And then it was beautiful and redeeming how Tom saw the goodness. You know, it wasn't really his idea, because he had been drug along to have, you know, the money saved by going to this cheaper free orphanage to get Meg. And so he was just kind of going along with this. So it's not like he was integral in picking her out. But then the fact that he bonded with her and she was so good for him, even getting involved in his writing and supporting him. And then I cannot stand when the plot, to make it easier or to make it conclude the way that the author wants it to, another character dies. Like a problem is solved by death. I do not like it. I think it is sloppy and not, I mean, maybe it could be reality, right? However, in this case, I didn't find Tom's suicide believable. He was bonding with Meg. He was proud of her. He had a reason to live. He could have done so many other choices. He had already gone through so much and overcome that. And to think that his wife criticizing him when that's what she had been doing all along, but all of a sudden that's going to put him over the top. I just found that really, really hard to believe. He, you know, drank for one day and then kills himself. And then he had to die, right? Because otherwise, if the mom, Charlie, comes to get Meg and Tom is invested and Meg is invested in Tom, what would have happened then? That would have been a really messy plot, right? And so I just thought, oh, well, how convenient that one of the main characters that I'm attached to and love kills themselves, when that didn't feel like in character to me. And then it didn't like feel like it was wrapped up with any of the characters at the very end, for that matter. It's kind of like, okay, is Flossie gonna be okay? What, I mean, it just, for how long drawn out and how we're gonna connect and how we're gonna do this, there didn't seem to be a lot of like coming together and having closing remarks, right? To having those, oh, I see this in you. Oh, I'm so glad that we worked through this. Oh, you've grown so much. Okay, you've got a touch of reality and you're not as prudish, you're not as stuck up. You're a better version of yourself. This is what we're getting. I mean, yes, we as the reader get to make some of those inferences, and I can already feel the comments that y'all did that, and that's awesome. But it wasn't worthy to me. It wasn't a fun ride. It wasn't something that I was really looking forward to. I was just trying to get through the book, find out what happened, decide what all this hype is about, and try to be fair, try to be open. But the end in particular just really rubbed me the wrong way. So here I am, once again, kind of venting and having an unpopular opinion, which I don't apologize for. I really don't. It's just the way I perceived it. You may love it, and I am happy. I'm truly happy for those that love this, and it's their book of the year. That's awesome. Come back, hopefully, and see what my books of the year are. I appreciate you sticking around. If you love this book, you may put that in the comments below, because other people would love to probably hear what your opinion is. If you didn't like it and you feel like we're the small but few majority that are banding together, join me in the comments as well. If there's another book that you think that I should or shouldn't read because of this unpopular opinion, let me know. I'm always looking for my good reads. So take care. Happy reading. I will see you next time.